No, I want to say hi to these people.
Oh,
My beautiful people that are here, first of all.
Okay.
Can we quickly just introduce ourselves, right? Because we're going to be having a really nice conversation in the next 30, 45 minutes. So it'll be good for us to just know ourselves. So I'm going to start from the left, right? But real quick, I want you to please use an adjective, right? An adjective that describes you. So the first, if your name is Yemi, right, find an adjective that starts with Y. So for instance, young Yemi. Right? It's very straightforward. You
see what I said?
guys are all bright people. You're into, come on now. So if you're bright, as your name is bright, that means you're starting with a B, right? So please think of it. So it's not when we get to you, you're taking our time to think of it. Okay. All right. Are you ready? Okay. So let's hear you. Just introduce yourself. Hello. What is it? Tiny Talani. Thank you. Good to meet you, Tiny Talani. All right. Who we got next?
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Good evening.
I'm feeling Felicia.
Okay. Hi, Felicia.
My name is Reliable
Your name?
Raphael.
Okay. Okay. Hi, Reliable Raphael.
Hi, my name Graciously Grace.
Graciously Grace.
Okay, I guess.
Exactly.
Well done.
Hi, everyone. I'm Ambitious Abiodun.
Okay.
Hi,
Welcome.
Ambitious Abiodun.
Hi, everyone. I'm the Meek Moses.
Meek.
Moses.
Meek Moses.
Oh, Meek Moses. All right. And actually, because Moses went and said he was the biggest man in all the earth, but that's a different conversation.
Hi everyone.
Hi.
Orange Olarewaju.
Wow.
I know.
All right.
I don't think we're accepting that.
Yeah. I mean, why orange? Why? How are you orange?
Okay, orange is a very bright color. It signifies positive emotions.
Okay.
You can, whenever you think of an orange, think of something interesting, something sweet, something that's spicy, something hot. So,
Did you rehearse for this?
Okay, fine. You sold yourself.
Well
there's,
done. Okay.
there's a lady at the back.
Oh, yes.
Hi.
Hello.
Shy Stephanie.
Shy Stephanie.
Shy
Okay. Hi, Shy Stephanie. That's
Yeah, she's lovely.
yeah. Yes, I'm asking you.
Oh, it's my turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm very, very calm, Camille.
Calm Camille. Okay.
Very calm.
I don't know if that's true, but let's go with that for now.
Daring David.
Daring David. Okay. It's a very daring voice.
Ask me now.
I'm coming on. I don't do yes.
Smart shade.
Okay.
Love it. Enigmatic Ebube.
Okay.
Yes, sir. All right, so you guys are all welcome, right? Do you know why you're here? Abi? Who knows why they're there? Why they're here? Or you just mistakenly
You just
saw say, this male. His look is giving. Let me just bust it. But I actually just want to know at least one person, like what's happening here? Why are you here? Anyone? You don't have to raise your hand, just speak.
okay, I saw a mail inviting me for this live podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't really know the topic of the podcast.
Okay.
But I was looking to meet, mentors from the grind, and I thought it's part of the process of becoming, part of what the grind is building us to become.
Yes, sir. All right. I mean, that's more or less accurate, right? We wanted to, through the different ways that we're trying to reach out, to not just fellows, right, but undergraduates especially. So besides the grind fellowship that I believe most of you here, if not all of you, know about, which I won't be talking about now. Meet the Grind, podcast is essentially, meet the graduates in demand, right? It's meant to be a platform where, we are speaking with people that are doing really great things in their various spaces. These are actual graduates in demand, and we're trying to showcase their life, their lessons, their experiences, and hope that, people that are soon to be graduates and even graduates can learn a thing or two. And so we thought, okay, it would be good for us to have, this type of like a live event, not just the one we're doing in the studio, so that we can actually just get to chat, and then we'll take it from there. So that's essentially what it is. I'm going to hand over to Smart Shay to
Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Agu. All right. So you know how all these celebrities have nicknames for their fans. Sorry, let me say their family. So we're going to have a nickname for ourselves. The Grinders. Does that sound nice? The Grinders.
You were
know.
so excited about
No,
that.
It looked like something you'd be
Yeah,
cooking.
exactly. So when I say hey grinders, you're going to give me a response.
You'll
Maybe I
say,
don't
girl.
know. Thank you
Like
very
that.
much, Camille. All right, so Ag was already giving a brief intro to what the grind is. So the grind means graduates in demand. So we are on a mission to equip undergraduates like yourself to have the necessary resources, skills to thrive in the workplace and in the corporate world. So when I say, hey, grinders, Camille said your response should be what? No, I will figure something out. Don't let's dwell on that. All right. So have you ever seen all those entry-level job ads asking you for 5+ years of experience? I know you're still undergraduates, but I'm sure you might have seen, job ads saying entry level, but have 5 years of experience. Maybe not even 5 years, maybe 2 years of experience. And you're wondering like, how? Why are you asking me for that much experience? So, that's what we're here to discuss. So I want to officially welcome you to the maiden edition of Meet the Grind podcast powered by EduBank and Vertical. We are turning your students, or rather, we want to turn your student hustle to student muscle, or sorry,
Come
to
on
career
now.
muscle, actually. So let me repeat that. So we are here to turn your student hustle into career muscle. So we are live at Cafe One Unilag, an innovative co-working space by Sterling Bank. And of course, I'm joined by my amazing grinders. Please a round of applause for yourself. Thank you so much for taking out time.
I'm committed to this.
Yeah, actually, thank you so much for taking out time to be here. I know you have exams and we don't take it for granted. Thank you so much for joining. Like I said, this is the maiden edition of the Grind podcast, Meet the Grind podcast, and you're a part of history. So a big round of applause for yourself. Amazing. All right, so my name is Shaiyen Olayera, and I'm honored to be your host, your guide for today's conversation. Of course, I'm joined by my amazing
Ebube Agu.
Ebube
Enigmatic.
You already know what it is.
Oh,
One time,
sorry, I
one time.
missed that.
No, it's calm.
Forgive me. So it's so nice to have everyone here today. So today we are discussing the topic holidays, internships, and entry-level job ads with 5+ years experience needed. As you can see, I'm not alone here today. I have Camille and David. A round of applause for them, please. These people are busy people. They came all the way to this place, so we do not take it for granted.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for
Yes,
taking
sir.
out time to be here. So very quickly, we're going to read their bio. Agu, I think you should start first. You read Camille's.
I'm going
And
to
I'll
read
spice
it.
mine
I'm
up
going to
a
read it
bit.
in a really calm way.
Okay.
Yes.
I think I
Calm
want to change
to
mine to
calm.
controversial or chaotic. Let's do chaotic.
Those two are actually spot on. More spot on than the calm. Either
Wow.
chaotic or controversial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, can you spice mine up? Like
I
freestyle it a
don't-
little bit.
That would be a bit. Okay, let's see.
Let's
Okay. So I'm going to just quickly introduce Camille so you know who she is, have a little bit of a background. Obviously, this is like 1/10 of what she is or what she does, right? So it's just yeah. Okay, so Camille Shaiyen is an accomplished product marketing manager. She manages a variety of products, but one of the products that she spends her time, developing and managing and marketing is called Skid. Now, I'm going to, leave her to tell you a little bit about what Skid is, but she drives marketing efforts for, Skid and a number of other products, all like in the tech space, trying to, solve an integral need in the society with 10+ years of expertise in marketing, brand management, and partnerships. She has notably led the Next Robotics Legends program and the Mobile Game Jam, inspiring young minds in robotics, AI, and game development. The literal definition of what doings. Passionate about startups and Africa's growth, she actively mentors the next generation, especially the girl child. She's super passionate about. and biased towards the girl child, I would say, whilst fueling her interest in media and podcasting. So beyond her professional pursuits, she enjoys writing, working out, and exploring diverse cultures through her love for travel. So, guys, join me and welcome the amazing Camille.
Thank you.
So, before Camille speaks, I'll just let
Okay.
you introduce David and then we'll
All
take it
right.
from there.
So we have David Bolaji Asimi. I hope I pronounced it.
No.
Oh, sorry, forgive me. Chief of Staff, semicolon. David is an infinite learner, actively designing and building products that solve real problems. He currently works as the Chief of Staff at Semicolon, a workforce development platform enabling Africa's digital transformation by building tech-focused talent and businesses. His work in Semicolon cuts across researching and designing online learning experiences focused on improving the quality of online training delivery to ensure designed outcomes are met, while also designing and co-building technology projects with project partners. Through Semicolon, David is unleashing talent and innovation in Africa for Africans and the world. A big round of applause for David. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you.
Awesome. All right, so our topic today is holidays, internships, and entry-level job ads with 5+ years experience. So for most people, after NYC, it was difficult for them to find a good job, a reasonable job, because either they were asking for a ridiculous number of years of experience or they didn't just find anything sensible. So I would like to know what was your first job? How was it like? How much was your salary? I can say my mom was 20K, 20,000. Hey, private school that my parents spent plenty money on, but it's fine.
I think we need to ask what year though. Was it like 1980?
Wow.
You just called it old.
Wow.
I think it's a necessary question.
Actually,
Devaluation and everything, right?
You just called you old.
I will fight later. But yeah, I finished 2016, but after NYC was 2017. So I didn't get a reason. Yeah, 2017. But grace. We are here.
That's your story.
Yeah, that's my story. So can you just share? It might have been good for you. You don't have to tell us a bad story. So
My first job was for context. Both of my parents are very big on work, and they both work for themselves and stuff. So I didn't have a mom who was just always at home going to school and homework and all of that. I was the person that used to call my mom's office. I'd be like, hello, please, can I talk to my mommy? And so all I saw growing up was work. And that's something that I just always wanted to do. So from as early as secondary school, I used to be like, can I work? Can I work? Can I work? Can I work? My parents be like, okay, you can also just wait and then you work when you're supposed to work. But my last semester, right after secondary school, I got my first ever job in channels. At that time, I thought I wanted to be a journalist. I was obsessed with the idea of owning my own TV show. And I have a really cool personality, so it made sense, right?
Yeah.
So I worked at channels and I live on the island and I would go all the way. Their office is almost in Ogun State.
I know.
So if you know, you know. I would go from the island all the way to Ogun State. And after 1 week, I said, I'm not doing it again. I'm not doing it again. Please, my friends are going to party and I'm here in one TV station. It was unpaid, of course, but I really enjoyed seeing the back end of what went into, what we see on TV.
Awesome. Good to hear. David, what about you?
I think my family is sort of an active family, and I've been hustling since early days, whereby I studied mechanical engineering, but I'm not practicing, right? And when I started studying mechanical engineering, by my first year, I knew that this wasn't what I signed up for because it was theoretical, and that was when I went into media. So I was doing photography and cinematography at that time. That was my hustle. And by the time I was done with school, I had built something for myself. And that's when I came across Semicolon. And then I joined Semicolon to technically tell their story. And then from there, I just moved on to other things. in semicolon.
Awesome. So I'd love to know about your job search history when you finished. So I know you said you worked at channels, started your own stuff. So did you get to see all those job ads that were asking for 5+ years experience? And the jobs were majorly, or rather, 4 entry level. So did you come across any of that, or you didn't even look at it?
Before.
You didn't?
Before. So I went to uni in France, and my school was very big on like finding opportunities for
So you went
students.
to uni where?
In France.
Okay,
Super
just wanted you
France,
to say that.
Yes. So
Alright.
we had a job board, and you would see like internship. You see like an internship opening, and they're like, "Oh, you must have interned in the past for like 6 months." And I'm like, "Guy, I want to train, and you're telling me to have trained before I come and
Wow,
train."
why?
Or then like same thing, entry level, and they're asking for years of experience. And I'm like, "So why are you on this school board?" But then I guess when in the context of being abroad, it makes sense because abroad they work from when they're like 15, 16. And a lot of the time we look at it from the context of you must have worked a corporate job. But if I'm a barista in Cafe One and I graduate, I can put it on my CV and convert it to transferable skills. But then in Nigeria, we also look down on certain jobs because you think that, okay, I want to be the CFO of blah, blah, blah company. So therefore, I must only work at banks. I must only work at, this and that and this company, but just start somewhere. So yes, I did see all those opportunities and I didn't really have the experience. And even when I started to gain the experience, it just kind of felt like it wasn't enough. It's very demoralizing.
Interesting. Ago. It seems like there's a lot on your mind.
There's always a lot on his mind.
I'm just taking it in.
Yeah,
just
taking
taking
it
it in.
in.
Out.
Awesome. All
I'll
right.
speak
So
soon.
so you mentioned that students abroad, they have more experience because they work when they're schooling. So as a Nigerian student, how do you think these students can actually make time to work and study at the same time? Okay, so now, let me put it this way. Holiday is coming. Do you think they should get something doing? What opportunities do you think they can, get, and what opportunities do you think they should hop on? Because like you said, in Nigeria, they can underlook, menial jobs, and that's why people now lie on their CV to say, maybe they were just a barrister, they'll say something like, they'll just look for a very tush name to, add to their CV, and it's just all lies. But I mean, experience is experience, right? How you get to communicate with people and all of that. So I just want to know your thoughts on that.
I think that it's important. So I think that there are different ways to look at it. You're in school because you want to get a job after. Some people just want to get the degree. I don't know. Some people are in school because their parents said they should go to school. But if you want to work, if you want to get a good job after, you have to find ways to make yourself more desirable. And the thing is, especially if you go to school in Nigeria, you're going to be competing with people who are in school abroad. And that's just the unfortunate reality
sorry,
of it.
I need to stop you there. Sorry. That's a very important thing. No. Let's go ahead.
It's the truth.
That's why I said,
it's the truth. I've gone through a lot of, in one of my past lives, like I used to help people like hire, and the things that I would see on CVs, like it would be so disheartening because I'm like, sell you. I almost want to shake them and say, sell yourself to me. Like it's almost as if they just typed anything and just gave me the CV. So sometimes it's even in the efforts that you put. Someone will send you their CV. There's no body copy in the email. There's no subject line, or there's a job ad that says when you're applying, put the subject as XYZ. And then they send you the email. There's a certain level of attention to detail that's missing. And that's why whenever you see, did you read the article on like manage it like that? Nigerians have a way of just fling it, like doing things anyhow and expecting. So whenever people do the like 1% more, it seems like they're doing something so great. When you're on holiday, yes, you're in uni, and I'm a big advocate for enjoyment too. As in, I'm a huge advocate for enjoyment because this life now on. But I think that life is also about balance. You know the situation you're in, you know the year you're in. Even if you haven't gotten, summer starts in let's say summer starts in May, it's not in April that you start looking for the internship.
Exactly.
And it's okay to send out cold emails. When I was in uni, I used to send people messages on LinkedIn all the time. And that time, LinkedIn, they didn't used to count email.
That
so
email.
you could send out emails to
As
so
many
I would
people.
literally send out messages to people on LinkedIn. I'll go and find, I even did that 2 days ago because I wanted to find someone for something. So I went on the page of the company that I was looking for. And I went through every single person until I found about 3 or 4 people with similar job descriptions to what I was looking for. And I was just sending their emails because the worst thing anybody can do is say no or ignore me.
Absolutely.
Right. So go the extra mile. It's not in April that you're looking for an internship that starts in May. You know, you're reaching out as early as January, February. When they tell you, oh, our internship search starts in March, you set a reminder on your phone because thank God for smartphones, right? March 1st, you've emailed again. Hello, and there's also ChatGPT to help you craft the email if you feel like you don't know what to do, right? And then if you're not able to get the internship, let's say April comes and you still haven't gotten anything, look for skills. Okay, you say you want to work in marketing. Then what skills do you want to develop? You haven't gotten an internship, but you can still develop skills. Okay, you want to work as a developer. Why, okay, you don't have an internship, but that doesn't mean that you can't go out of your way to learn. LinkedIn has free courses. Absolutely. There are free courses. Google has their digital skills marketplace. Coursera has free courses. Udemy is for, I don't know how they make money because they're always doing sale. You can find courses for us. I don't understand it.
Unify as well.
Unify has, like literally, there are resources at your disposal, and don't always wait to be spoon-fed. Just go out of your way, go the extra mile. And please, when you're using ChatGPT, read it, please.
Yes, very
ChatGPT is a computer. So sometimes ChatGPT will give you rubbish. And some people just copy and paste and they'll send you nonsense like that. So please read it and edit it. So that's my advice. Just always go the extra mile.
Spot on.
So just like, when you were speaking, something came to mind. And I think it's easy to focus on like our disadvantages, because if we want to sit down and talk about it, I'm sure we can, we can go in and go on for a really long time. But I dare say that even if it's not, the kind of internship or whatever it is that you're looking for, that you can definitely find work, right? Even if it's for free. And a lot of times, I think people don't offer their services for free early enough sometimes. And that's why down the line, they get that maybe they haven't amassed the kind of experience that they need to. Because when they had, that opportunity because of their stage, maybe they're students or they're young or they're just coming out of school, when they could have actually just done any and everything, they were overpricing themselves. Let me just put it that way. Because there's such a thing as overpricing yourself, right? There's the time for really getting all the exposure that you can get. Yeah. And I think this is that time. Yes. I think there are so many people that you can offer, even if it's one service. Like the thing about, and Camille talked about transferable skills. It's so great. And it's not something we highlight enough, right, in this part, but transferable skills is gold. Like, what can you do? Where can you work? And be very strategic about it. Think about it. What are the capabilities that you want to get from working here for 1 week, for 2 weeks? And just do some research and see places that you can offer yourself, even if they're not paying. And I have to say it because it's true. We don't want to always hear it because we're like, we go chop exposure. But you go chop exposure next year if you're not chopping it today.
And I just want to just buttress on that. No, but you know what? It's true, because I find a lot of young people I talk to, they're so money driven, and I get it. I understand. I know how much yam is, like I know, but also understand that the one that you're doing today for free, tomorrow,
you charge a lot for it.
Tomorrow you will not be paying for it, So just also be mindful of that. Don't say that, Shebi is an unpaid intern. What am I going there to do? Okay, now when you're looking for a job and they say that you don't have experience, you remember that you start thinking about the internship that you turned down because they said that they were not going to pay you. Yeah. So, but also be discerning. It's not anything that you just take.
I think to also add to what she said is, I came across someone that said the first 10 years of your career is for you to learn. After that, you can earn. So focus on the learning first, and then you will earn eventually.
Yeah.
That makes a lot
And
of
I have a
sense.
question for David, right? Because when yeah, that's
Words.
that's a snap moment right there. Because when you talked about like, doing photography and all of that in school, I could relate because that was also me. Like I remember making money from matric, from convocation, all of those things. And again, I think that's something maybe like we should just talk about for a bit. What can you do where you are right now, right? Whether it's entrepreneurial or whatever. But the thing about it is the kind of confidence it gives you. Like the next person that's not doing anything will not have that confidence. Because I remember I had to understand like how much will this cost me, right? And okay, what's the markup? Like the like what's the markup? Like what can I put on top of it? Even if it's like 20% or 30%, how can I compete favorably with the other person that's doing their own photography? What's my touch? Like, what's that extra thing? I started learning branding. I started learning how to put myself out there. I started learning how to take rubbish from customers and calm them down and still deliver. You can if we were to actually sit down and list out like some of the things that you learn from doing that kind of thing, the list will be endless, right? So I just wanted David to speak about it. Can you see like some parallels? Can you draw any of those between like those things that you did as an undergraduate and like how it helped you when you graduated?
Yeah, sure. I don't know how many of you know Adam Grant.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you read the book Think Again? Okay. I mean, I've not finished the book, but I took what I needed.
Was on your shelf.
Yeah. And one of the key things Adam Grant was saying in that book is don't fall into that bucket of creating a preconceived notion of yourself. And preconceived notion in the sense that there were people in high school that they had excellent voices. And because they had excellent voices, people planted the thought in their mind that, oh, you're the next Wizkid, you're the next SARS, you're the next this. And because of that, they feed themselves into that bucket and they believe this is where I'm meant to shine. This is where I'm meant to be. But 5 years down the line, they've outgrown that phase, right? So essentially what I'm trying to say is avoid boxing yourself by creating preconceived notion. My journey started from, I grew up in a kind of home where TV was decoration, right? You had to be doing something, reading a book. I started from, because I had a computer in my house. I started learning graphics design. I realized that graphics design was not for me. I learned DJ. I realized that DJ was not for me. I learned beat making. Went firing,
producer,
Fruity Loops, producing and all of that.
Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops.
Yeah. Fruity Loops, bro.
Is this still existing?
I don't know. FL.
And then,
Everybody here, crickets.
And then the advanced one, when you want to show off Cubase and all of that, I learned it. Wasn't for me. I went to learn knitting. Wasn't for me. Tried beading out. Wasn't for me. I tried doing publishing, like newsletters. I reach out to people, write articles. I myself write articles. I paid for a website that time. After 1 year, I didn't renew it. It was stressful. I realized it wasn't for me. But I think in all of that, I now stumbled at photography, right? And in all of that, what I learned was those things gave me the opportunity to try things and figure out what worked for me.
Yeah.
A lot of people are scared to try things because what if it doesn't work? The cost of entry, all those things are in your head. Genuinely, they are there, but when there's a will, you'll find a way, right? And then I did photography. I did photography for about 7 years, thereabouts, right? And essentially, I had made a name for myself in the industry. Not globally, but if you knew, because my name on the street is Camille, meaning capturing moments.
Come on, Brand.
Girl.
And in all of this, I even went to learn culinary because at some point I was doing food photography, right? So I went. So when I say I'm an infinite learner, like curiosity, I see something. One thing I want to learn now is mixology, right? Well, that's on the side. But essentially, I went to culinary school at Reddish, right? And then did the African course to learn how to plate, how to style food
Yeah.
and all of that. And then somewhat around 2020, 2021, right? I started doing more at Semicolon, right? And I was falling sick too much because I was trying to combine both lives because at the time I was working as a portfolio manager, providing venture building support to startups, right? And I was supporting about 12 companies. So you can imagine 12 babies. And this is
12
very, very early
startups.
stage, right? And I had my photography projects on the side. So then you work morning to night or morning to working hours. And really in working hours, you have a ton of people coming, please, I'm having issues with my this. Put me through this. So you don't have time to do your I didn't have time to do my semicolon work. And then is after close of business, I go back on my first of all, do semicolon work. After semicolon work, I try to catch up on my media projects and all of that. And it was taking a toll on my health. But 2021 ending, I had to sit myself down and say, okay, how do you want to move forward with this? It was a difficult decision to say, people know me as Camo because I'm the media guy. Like, I've built something for myself. Are you telling me to let go of this? And to my greatest surprise, a few months later, I came across Adam Grant's The Think Again book. And it now made sense that it was so difficult for me to let go of that because I had sort of created that preconceived notion that I'm a badass photographer and cinematographer. Like, when people hear me, they know I'm the stuff. So I want to let go of that. And I was like, okay, no problem. And I think that's sort of transition. And when you look at my work now, there are a lot of things that over time I was exposed to as a result of even learning and failing.
Yeah.
Learning and losing interest and not being scared that what if I don't like it? Like, I do it, I don't like it, I move on. Like, whatever money that was spent learning or getting whatever that needed to be done, I move on. But most important thing is I'm where I am now. And even as I am where I am in semicolon, I've also found peace that 5 years from now, you might find out that, man, I'm doing law.
Yeah.
Like, don't raise any eyebrows. Just know that I'm leaving. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's just so fantastic because I was having this exact conversation yesterday, and I was just saying the question was, when was the last time you failed at something? I said, Omo, people that are failing are people that are enjoying life the most because you have a wealth of experience, and your breakthrough might be after your next failure. You just have to keep going. And also, failure is not personal. Like, life is not targeting you. Life is not looking at you like you. I'll show you. It's just something that happens, and that's how you find yourself. And if I didn't fail the way I failed, and I don't even think we should even call it failures, But if I hadn't done all the things that I've done and failed at some things that I failed at, I wouldn't have realized the things that I'm not good at. And I'd be lying to myself. I'd be wasting my time and everybody's time. And me, I'm the one that is frustrated. I'm the one that is crying. I'm the one that is broke. I'm the one that is everything. So don't think that. Don't marry yourself to an idea. Don't marry yourself to an idea. Don't say, okay, because I'm studying economics, I must become an economist.
Right.
See, tomorrow the wind can blow and you find yourself as the head of marketing in the NFL. Like, you never know where life will take you.
Facts.
Absolutely. All right. So before we take questions from the audience, so please prepare your questions. We'll take 2 people. I would like to ask if you could speak to your undergraduate self, maybe your 200 level, 300 level, 400 level self. What would you tell her? What would you tell him?
Go
for
first.
this.
Okay.
Yeah. Who wants to go first?
You go first.
Okay, I'll go. I'll tell my young self to not be scared. That focus on the now, the process, and everything will make sense. Because she was talking about job applications. I think I created my first CV last year, December.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And the purpose of creating that CV was, as a result of my role, trying to apply for grants, you need to put some CVs of the management team and all of that, right? So that was my first attempt at creating that proper CV. And essentially is, as long as you keep preparing yourself, there will definitely be opportunities that will come your way. But if you keep waiting for opportunity, or if I had a laptop, I would be as good as this guy. If I had what this guy had, you have everything that you need right now. It may not be in your pocket, it may not be in your space. You may know someone that has all the things that you need to complement what you have. So I'll tell myself, don't be scared. Just take it one day at a time.
I love it. Camille.
Okay, I've thought. First of all, you stole my answer. But,
I'm sorry.
but I pretty much the same thing. Like, fun. It's so ridiculous that I had this exact same conversation yesterday. We're playing a game actually. So in one sentence, it is be patient and respect the journey. That's what I would say to myself, because there were times when I got so frustrated when, I was trying to run my own PR agency, and I was like, do you know what? Let me be like I had branded myself the small brand superhero. But then the small brands had no money, which meant I had no money. But then I was getting so frustrated. But then there are people, like some of those people are still my friends till today. And, they call me about things, and, it's not about money anymore, and it's about relationships. And a lot of the things that I have gotten today, including my current job, is based on relationships. So just be patient and respect the journey. And then another thing is comparison is really the thief of joy. Yeah. Because job application is one of the most daunting things you will ever do in your life. It is demoralizing. It is daunting. It is painful. Sometimes you even want to just roll on the floor. It's actually very frustrating. It is so frustrating. Yeah. But then it's not night forever. Just keep going, keep pushing through. Like I said, don't be afraid to message people on LinkedIn. Oh yeah. Don't be afraid. You people, I have no fear of anything, because everybody just human being like this. All of us will die one day. The worst thing anybody can do, ignore you or tell you no. Right. Message people. If there's a company that you've been looking at and you want to work there, it doesn't have to be the CEO you message. Message someone mid-level. You can even message someone that's low level and ask, how did you get there? The question doesn't always have to be, give me a job today. It could be, how did you get there? You can ask people, can you look at my CV? Like I said, a lot of people don't know how to write CVs, even though there's Google, but it's okay. But yeah, comparison, when things are not going right, you start looking around and you're like, but it's working out for everyone else. Like, I'll be like, God, everybody's traveling. Where will they see this money? We're not living in the same Nigeria, And then eventually, like, I just said that, my auntie's always ringing in my ear that everybody's race is different. Everybody's life is different. And if you keep looking at what's going on with the next person, you will just be there running round and round and round. And then when I eventually decided that I was going to just face my front and do my own thing, things started happening. And even before I got where I am now, I remember there was a year when I wanted to travel and I didn't have the money. But I said, God, between you and me, I'm traveling. I'm going on this trip by force. So I just said, what can I do? What do I know how to do that I can raise money with? And I said, okay, I can write. I might not be the best writer in the world, though, but I know I can write. And my toxic trait in life is that I think I can do everything. That's actually my toxic trait.
Energy. I love it.
When I had a graphic designer who used to do rubbish. You can tell him design a flyer for this event, and then he'll carry me and put me on a medal. Like, he just used to do rubbish. So I taught myself Photoshop. So that's actually my toxic trait. So for this trip, I said I have to travel, and so I just started reaching out to people that I can write to. Do you need a proposal? I'll do your CV. That's how I learned how to do CVs really well. I was writing CVs for people. I was writing cover letters for people. I was writing proposals. I was writing business plans for people. Wow. And then someone then referred me to someone in the US who had just lost their job, and they had like a really high level job somewhere. And the person offered me $500 to write their CV for them. And wow. I was just like, I was going to ask for 50K, but okay. So yeah, just stay in your lane, face your front. And that's really what I would say to my younger self. Yeah.
Sure.
So good. Okay.
I think I wanted to add to what she said is, I think I'll say you guys are in an excellent position. And you hear a lot of things about I'm not a social person. I'm an introvert. One thing you need to know is the strongest bonds that you will ever create outside of sales and marketing engagement is the friends you make in uni, NYC, and all of that. Why? Because university creates a leveled ground. It's the last bus stop. School is the last bus stop where if you reach out to somebody, I wouldn't feel like you need something from me. So make use of that time you have. One of the things I wish I did was I shouldn't say this on camera, but I was
Code it.
I was a passive student, right? Because I knew school wasn't for me. Like I had zoned out of mechanical engineering, but I finished.
You thank the Lord.
I finished, right? But in that zoning out, right, I wish I had made more bonds with people in my class. Because each person in your class is going to amount to something meaningful tomorrow, next year, a few years from now. The relationship you had with them will determine how they will engage with you years down the line and all of that. So be a social junkie, please. Be everywhere. Make the network. Whatever friendship you make today, nobody cares. Oh, does this person want money from me? Or is this person trying to steal something from me? Because once you finish uni,
everybody's
Everybody
is like, what's the motive?
Yeah.
Why are you trying
The walls
to
are
engage me? Do you understand?
Absolutely.
Like, so make all the friendships, all the bonds, keep them tight, keep them strong, join groups, all of that.
Attend events.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like this is the time. Once you finish school,
You need it though.
your reason for engaging me is, are you trying to tell me to get you a job? Or are you trying to get me to cover a bill or something? Like, what's your reason for engaging me? So it's either I want to reach out to you for something, or we mutually are on the same level trying to connect. Or so just build your strong bonds while you can now.
Yes, actually, someone in my uni, I was in the car with him, and he works in Abuja now.
Okay.
I can't tell you what he does. I don't know. I know it has something to do with government. And after he was saying to me how he gave a contract for supplying something to someone that he knew as well from I was like, what about me now? He was like, that he didn't know that I'll be interested, but now he will have me in mind.
Yeah.
But these are the bonds that matter. Like we still hang out till today, and these are people that will always have you in mind. But also put yourself out there. If, like he said, be anything you want to be. If you like, say that you're a ballerina, you're a gymnast, you want to run, you can have 2 legs. They say you want to run in Paralympics tomorrow. Just say it so that people always have you in mind for things.
Yeah.
My example's always extreme. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. It just reminds me of the
Chaotic
school that
Camille.
says your network is your network. It's very... I think it's after you finish school, you realize that, this is serious. So you've heard it from them. They've actually told you what they would have done if they were in your shoes. So does anybody have any questions? We are going to take just 2 people. Anybody.
Ask anything.
Anything is fine. Okay.
So, first of all, I want to say it's been an amazing and insightful conversation. So the question I have is for each of you. So the question I want to ask is, what was your greatest fear when you were in school? Your greatest fear? Or maybe now?
I don't know about when I was in school. That was a long time ago. But I know right now.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Wow.
For you.
Wow. I said this. Right now, my greatest fear is not achieving anything. By nature, I'm a very, very ambitious person. Like I want everything. I want to do everything. And I'm always afraid that I won't reach my potential. So that's why I don't sleep. I message Agu on weekends, public holidays, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 p.m. I'm messaging my team on weekends, and I always tell them you don't have to. 2 days ago, I was messaging him at 11, and then I send them a voice note being like, please, you don't have to reply me till tomorrow. It's just, I'm just
as it comes.
It's just but yeah, that's really it for me. That yeah.
I think my greatest fear would be giving up.
What?
Giving up. And giving up in the sense that the higher you grow, the more your opportunities to just move into that comfort zone. Like, for example, if you think about you work for like 20 years or 50 years or 30 years, you've amassed all the cash and you go and start up a business, it's hell. It's not easy. And it's equally as easy to say, okay, I'm done. Like, I ain't doing this anymore. Like, out. So I think one of the greatest fears I have is, every day something is pushing you to your limit. Like, you thought today was the hardest. You come back tomorrow and it's something that has to test, why did I get out of bed to do this? So that fear of giving up.
I had to laugh because I call Agu to rant every 3 hours. Funny enough, there's a podcast I listen to a lot of podcasts. There's one called How I Built This, and it's basically about how founders built their products. So from products that you all know, like PayPal and EasyJet, to even products that are known maybe just in the States or whatever. And I remember the episode of with, I think it was the person who founded PayPal.
Okay.
When he sold the company, he was lost. This is exactly like, it goes to show, he was like, what? He didn't know what to do with himself anymore because he had always done something. He had always run a business or done something and he just felt lost. So after he said his babe at the time was looking at him. At some point, she said, "Oh boy, get up. Like, there's still life ahead of us. You need to jazz up and do something else." So I completely agree with you on that.
Okay. Awesome. So anybody else? Who should we pick? Okay. Let her go first, then we'll come to you.
Okay, so for everything you said, listening, it feels like for some of us it's a little bit too late. I mean, I'm graduating next week, and you mentioned something about building connections, have like strong connections while you're in school. So I feel like I've not done a lot of that. How do I like make up for that?
I have a question. Are you alive?
Exactly. It's never too late.
It's never too late.
Yeah.
People start their lives again in their 40s, 50s, 60s. Like, it is never too late. When you leave this place today, go and make a plan. Agu likes to laugh at me that I'm very mechanical with the way I work. Go and make a plan. Go and do a mood board. Lock yourself in your room and ask yourself, what is next? How do I move? Companies have internship schemes all the time. Clean up your LinkedIn, Google, research, find out, what desirable skills you need. Where can you start from? What courses do you need to take? Start somewhere. Like, as long as you're moving forward, you're fine. The worst thing you can do is to just be still.
Yeah.
Just move. Not backward.
Exactly. You need
Forward. Actually, it's even better if you move backward, you even make a mistake but not too back. Just make a plan. It doesn't matter what the plan is. Message people. Like I said, LinkedIn. And me, I'm a creep. I can find anybody's email address in this world. Just let me stop
We have that
before. So we'll talk about that one offline.
So I mean, okay, David. Yeah.
I was going to say, it's never too late. And again, as long as there's the will, you'll get whatever you want, right? There's no excuse in our generation because information is at our fingertips. If you hear someone is toasting your friend, you know how to find the person.
FBI.
Just give me his last name.
Last name? What do they call him on the streets?
That's the funny thing. Whenever I say this, people instantly react, of course. And when it comes to finding what you want to do for your life,
we are
or
always
how
our
to go
hardest
about it.
critics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
Actually.
But I'll share something with you that someone shared with me, right? So sometime around 2021, thereabout, again, was falling sick and all. Greatest fear about to give up on this because, I mean, the abroad is not far, like it's not far, right? He told me, first of all, map out what is your journey like, right? Where do you want to be at the end of your career? If you found out what you want to be at the end of your career, where are you right now? what do you need to do and how do you need to. We're familiar with tech, right? All right, so I'll use a tech product as an example, and I'll try to keep it fast, right? If you look at that tech flow and you want to enter tech, I'll tell you, go and join a startup.
Yeah.
Why? The ability to turn an idea into a product is underestimated. I'm sure you guys are here. The ability to turn an idea on paper into a product is crazy. It is unrealistically chaotic, right? When you learn that, that's a phase. The next phase is, now I've been able to turn an idea to a product. Can I build or manage a product that can take 1 customer, 2 customers, 10 customers? The chaos in that alone is different. That one, you have people that call away and they're asking for the heaven and the other. So, guys, an MVP now, calm down. Like, we'll get there. From there, you have products that can take up to 50 to 100 customers. When you start thinking of cloud, demand, unique needs, language differences, do you understand? Now, if you move from that 100 mark or milestone to products that are now doing 500 users to 1,000 users, that's a different user headache, right? Once you start doing the thousands, that's a different headache, right? Your ability to show growth and knowledge and build depth across those different phases will come very handy in your career. At some point, you will have products that now do multi-regions, one in Lagos, one in the north, one in the east. Trust me. You guys know now, like the chaos of what each region is demanding is like, don't you guys have this basic thing that we have in Lagos? Do you understand? From there, you now move to companies that are probably multinational, Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, and all of that on the continent. And then at some point, global. I would say one of the worst mistakes you can ever make in your career, personal opinion, is starting in a global company. Because you just fit into the furniture of that company. You are a unit in the conveyor belt. You will not see past your unit. You will have had to go through 5 years of chasing, when you enter graduate training, what you're doing is, okay, your line manager is telling you, please help me go and get this person to sign this document. Help me create this. You're creating the same documents every day, right? And before you know it, like 5 years has passed, you're still in that GT. As if there's no space for them to promote you. Do you understand? So I'll say go for the small companies. There's a lot of valuable knowledge there, right? You said you're in your final year. For those of you that are not in your final year, in your 4th year, I did mechanical engineering. And I think during my COS, I interned in an oil company. Fantastic life. Fantastic life. I think I was one of the highest paid interns at the time. It was about 50K then, right?
At the time.
And some were not even getting paid. I was getting paid. There was lunch, there was transport, all of that. Like, they take care of you in oil, but you don't have a life. Like, you don't have a life. The worst is when you're not, because I went to the rig at some point. So you go to the rig, you don't even spend the dime of your money. Transport is on them, breakfast, lunch, dinner. There are even snacks during there. Like, you would be a soft boy. You would have money. Now, when you even go out of office, you get per diems. Based on your rank, it could be 30K per day. And the range is like, let's say, 2 weeks because of safety hazards, right? So imagine earning 30K per day times 14. That's cash out. Like, easy. Not to talk of the senior engineers that are probably earning $1,000 per day. Do you understand? But essentially, after experiencing that, the money was good, the life was sweet, but I would not have had a life. Like, I wanted to be in touch with my friends growing up. I want to be in touch. When you have a wedding, I'm able to show up, not that I have to be offshore. When you have an event, like, I pay my social debts. Anything, if you're my friend and you have something, I will be there for you. Do you understand? Like, no matter the cost. So I'll tell you, if you're not in your final week, go and try and intern in what you're studying and make a decision. Is this what I really want to do? If not, I'm gonna find your plan B. For your own case, figure out what you want to do, map out what that journey is like and what that climax will be like, and then think of where can I start from that will feed into that.
And there are many Aspire to Perspire videos on YouTube that can help you.
Avoid.
So, I also did want to say, please, very important, and at least 4 of us here can say, please go and learn how to use Microsoft Office. I beg, in the name of God.
So important.
There's nothing worse than just learn how to use Microsoft Office. I beg. You're going to say something?
I want to say the question I asked was like mostly on networking and meeting people about like knowing what you want and like mapping out how to get there. I have that already. I've done internships at different companies
Okay.
before. So what I'm focused on is like building
Networking.
connections, yes, in school. Like
Um,
making networks in school.
So you guys have like organizations, you have associations, you have clubs. You go to the clubs, go to the bars. Some people bond over beer, some people bond over shots, some people bond over books. You have to just pick what works for you. Today can even be your last day. You can be graduating tomorrow and you can decide to just go out. And I can't speak to people because people's social bandwidth is very, very different.
Yeah.
I'm a yapaholic. I can talk forever. Meeting people comes naturally to me, and I really like people. So but then if you're not a people person, you have to work with your own personal skills. If you're not a people person, where are your people gathered? Do people know where do you like to hang out? That's where your people are. Do you understand? That's where your people are. And it can start with something like shared love over reading. Do you understand? It can start with clubs. Okay, if there's a reading society, go talk about books, find shared interests. If you're not the most social person, find shared interests, and then you find your people there. There's a space for everyone. Even in this room, after now, everybody now start going to their various homes, and people have forgotten how many million of you are here. You never know.
Yeah.
So don't ever, ever, ever feel like it's too late. The person who started, there's a skincare brand, and she started it in her 40s. She was a stay-at-home mom, and she didn't like chemicals. And, so she started doing a lot of research, and it's Drunk Elephant, yes. And she ended up starting, it was by mistake, she started a skincare brand in her 40s. Don't ever, ever, I don't even think you're up to 25. I even up to 23. Get out of town, man.
You can even start here, meet people, connect. I mean, it's never too late. All right. So, okay, do you want to say?
Yeah, I was going to say that, sometimes when we say this thing, you might be expecting a grand answer. But the real answer is, if we're to be real, how many things have you turned down this month? All these things will come as subtle invites, meaningless, amounting to nothing. Like, it will feel like this is a waste of my time. But showing up, like, out of mind is out of sight.
Yeah.
Just showing up, like, a lot of things that, I have a decent social life, and I know of things happening, not because I'm on Instagram, but because of the social debts that I pay. Guys are like, ahead of this thing, no, are you interested? Ahead of this thing, are you interested? So you have people in your space today, your roommates, your classmates. There are a lot of people that are dragging you out. There are a lot of people that are doing things. Just walk up to them. I saw that you went for this last time. Do you mind if we go together? Right? So it's around you. You've just been ignoring or turning down.
My last answer to this question: follow companies on LinkedIn, because then they invite you to their network thing. So whenever they're having events, like you get those invite things. Yeah. So if you're interested in like going for professional and networking events, follow all sorts of companies on LinkedIn. You can be an economist and follow NMPC. They have the finance department. Don't worry. Whatever, just follow companies on LinkedIn, and when they will invite you to some things, or last when they're having networking events, they will publish it and try and go.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Camille. Okay, very quickly, let's take
Last
this
one.
question. Yeah, last one.
Yeah, for me, I'm usually this type of but that's what I'm asking about. We will have some question about this. What I just want to ask is, how did you get your jobs, like the jobs you have now? How did you get it? Let's say how you got the job you have.
Sorry,
Okay.
let's quickly say my own LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Mine was actually through LinkedIn, actually. So let's go to.
First of all,
I think that's a
congratulations on
really
your
good
startup.
question.
Congrats on your startup. It's not easy in this very Nigeria.
Oh yeah,
Congrats.
yeah.
Congratulations on your startup.
Oh,
Don't be shy.
What's your name? What's the name so that we can, when you blow, we can say,
No, the
we're
name of your
there.
startup. Is it the shirt you're wearing?
this one is
You
What's the
see,
name
you see
of-
now, you missed an opportunity. You'd have won the brand, your startup shirt now.
What's the name?
Tell us, what's your startup?
Innoves,
What does it do?
innovation hub, like we working with schools. So
Oh,
Well done.
wow. We'll be there when everything,
Okay,
works out.
LinkedIn.
Oh, mine was a referral.
Referrals.
Same thing, referral. That's what we talked about, personal network, referral.
So to sort of explain a referral,
Hmm.
the person that referred me were both like passive people in school. When people are reading for exams, he went down the product design line. He's a mad-ass product designer now. So he did a job for someone. The person referred him to the company, right? And then as a result of referring him to the company was just starting. So they were doing the branding and all of that. And he goes, I need a team to help push this thing together. And then at that point, he said, well, you need to tell the story, the African story of what it is that you're doing, which is semicolon, right? And that's how he says, hey, Alpha, like, I want you to meet someone. I go out and meet the person, like, they want to, like, work together. And, at that point, I was like, I don't want to hear it anymore, man. When people say partnership in media is they want to use your camera for free. Like, so I was very skeptical, but I said, okay, let me come through and hear. I heard it. What they were trying to do was amazing. I was like, okay, let's give it a try. So, referral.
Yeah, mine was a referral. Someone I used to work with. Most of the jobs I've gotten have been through people. Someone I used to work with moved to Sterling and literally called me, and she didn't really give me a choice, to be very honest. But here we are.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing. And I think, I would actually like to do a proper research on this and ask people like that have been working for 2 years and above how, they got their jobs. But without doing that, I dare say, right, that at least 60%, right, of the jobs you would do would be referral.
Absolutely.
And 60% is even a modest, right, like, guesstimation. Because if I think about it as well, for me, I think I've only maybe applied for that wasn't referred. I didn't know anybody. I just saw this role. I was like, oh, I think I would want this. Maybe like 2, like out of all the roles I've done, right? And in fact, that's a very interesting thing. The last one that was the one that I really, really applied for that I didn't know anybody. I just saw the ad. Then someone, again, that's the whole thing with like networking and just doing, because when you're doing, people are seeing, right? And you're connecting, and again, it's social capital that will be useful tomorrow. And that role where the one I applied, I got it, and I didn't spend too long there, but I already made connections there, right? I was there for like 4 months. And the next thing, the person that kind of, knew what I was doing there said, hey, I know that this thing isn't working out, and there are a bunch of you here that are really talented. There's this person in the States that's doing blah, blah, blah. They want to, they're looking to start a team, and I want you to head, the creative and communications team. I want this person to do that. Like, just like that, right? Boom, I entered leadership role. You get, and that's how it happened, even like the role I have now. But what I would say is that, a lot of times when people hear this referral, again, maybe if you have not really experienced it, you might think it's free lunch. It's not free lunch. It is years of work that you have put in speaking for you.
Yeah.
Like, It's not, somebody didn't just, people don't refer rubbish. Do you understand? Because if you're referring to someone, it means that you are saying, your name is on the line, you're saying, hey, this person. So if they do rubbish, they will look, do you understand? It's on you. And it's just, I don't know, maybe we've been talking a lot about networking subconsciously because it's really at the foundation of a lot of things, right? And I remember even like the role I have now, how I came about it was, should I say it's coincidence and the what? I was looking through a website and then I saw someone's face that I knew. I was like, this person is working in this company. Again, somebody that's, we're on the same level, right? So it's not like, so this is someone I can reach out to, like, hey, what's up? And I reached out and said, so you're the one that is this thing, right? And I just sent my CV. I was like, I'm actually looking for this type of opportunities now. It's like, okay, I'm going to shoot this to a few of my colleagues and someone would give you a call. Again, my CV, my portfolio was bad. She would not have shared it if it was not, bad, good. Like, you get it. The next thing, someone is calling me to say, hey, I'm trying to, do like a go-to-market plan, blah, blah, blah. I need someone that would really, own that and own the product. So let's talk. Obviously, again, it's not like after that, the person said, come in. I had like maybe 5 levels of interviews and assessments and blah, blah, blah before I got it. So you will still have to like know what you're doing. But once you do, people will be speaking for you.
Yeah.
That's the truth, right? And so I think that's a really good question because you'd find that if you are putting your hands, like if you're actually working, if you're doing something, you would have a track record. A track record is invaluable. And that's essentially what we're saying about like this whole, 5+ years, people asking for experience even when you're graduating. What will separate you from the next person? Could be 1 week of something that you did.
Exactly.
And that's why it's crazy. It could be one newsletter that had 2 people that were subscribed to it. But because you're saying, hey, I have run a newsletter and blah, 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 people want to see that you have done something. That's just it. So think about it like actually like where you are. Okay, there are many things that we could look at as advantages and all, but what can I do? And that thing you can do is all speak for you tomorrow. Facts.
Absolutely spot on. I could stay here to listen to every one of you speak.
Yeah.
We have run out of time, and I think we should actually have a conversation on networking, building your network, because it is so important, especially in this time and age, because people would take someone else's referral over somebody that their CV is really good because they trust that person. All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, the grinders. Your reaction.
You guys owe me so much money.
Yes, we owe you. We actually owe a lot. Thank you so much for joining today. We discussed holidays, internships, and entry-level job ads with 5+ years of experience. Please follow us on Instagram at Meet the Grind. Don't worry, you're going to enjoy our content because we have a lot of amazing things for you. Yes, so we are live. We were live, or we are still live at Cafe One Unilag, a co-working space by Sterling Bank. Meet the Grind podcast was or is powered by EduBank and Vertical. Till we come your way, same time next time. Bye-bye. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, Camille.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you for coming,
beautiful
David.
and
Thank you,
handsome
Camille.
audience. Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
guys.
Bye.